More progress being made. I've got the, I was going to pull the head off to examine the the head gasket, because I'm having some exhaust gases get into the radiator. Not enough to really affect the running of the car, but you know, if they're in there, it's a problem. I've got the little window with the, there's a little triangular shaped slot there carved into the gear and a matching mark on the back. Those are lined up. The silvery chain link is right on number 3. I've got the top dead center mark on the crankshaft lined up with 0. The bunny ears are up, so I feel like I'm in pretty good shape there. I went ahead and loosened up all of the head bolts, starting from the outside in a cross pattern. In other words, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, you know, working my way in. And the tool I used to do that was this thing right here, which fits like this. Okay, basically you do that, you turn this tool, you hold it with a gloved hand preferably, give it a little persuasion on the top, just basically wail on it, and what that does is it gives a very short, intense burst of energy that way, which I think is probably less likely to break a head bolt than just getting on it with a big old bar and going for it. I tried the big old bar and going for it, and it was really felt like, okay, this is just too hard. And if I keep going any harder, I might start breaking bolts. So that's when I reverted to this, actually. I didn't go to this as my first course. I went to that when it seemed like it was not going to work out. When I took the Maxima head off, I didn't use this, and you could tell it broke free relatively easily. So maybe being on an extra 8 years affected this compared to that Maxima in MN47 head I pulled up in '84. Anyway, whatever. So what was interesting to note was, you know, you get a nice satisfying squeak when that bolt turns, and then it gets loose almost instantly. Like, you know, maybe one full turn at most before it's loose. This one, let's look at a typical head bolt. You can see it's relatively clean coming out. Oh, also be sure it had to clean out all the gunk inside these head bolts, because they're socket heads, and you want that tool to go in there. Thing's pretty dirty. This bolt did not come out. Well, it came out. It didn't break, but it kind of was tight the whole way up. And the reason for that is if you take a look at the gunk buildup on it. Look at that. I don't know what causes that, but it should be interesting to see. I mean, there's got to be some reason why that's so filled with carbon and burnt up oil and whatnot, and everything else, all the rest of them were perfectly fine. I'm hoping that might be my smoking gun as to what where the head gasket was. In other words, if there's a little bit of head gasket failure around that bolt, you know, it could burn up the oil and carbonize and whatnot. So that's all off. I have not removed the manifolds yet. I'm actually leaving those bolted on for now. I'll probably take the intake manifold off, leave the exhaust manifold on, just to give me something to kind of grab hold of and lever on to help get it off, because I don't know what's going to happen when I go to pull that head. There's also a slinger here I can grab hold of here and over here, and I was thinking about using the cherry picker to kind of just lift the head straight up while this is still mounted on its stand. There was something else I was going to mention. No, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, you know, or I'll take the exhaust manifold and the intake manifold off and do it without. I don't know. It just depends on how much this thing's piping. Oh yeah, I know what it is. I'm waiting for the tool that you need to jam down inside here, which spreads that timing chain up against the guide that locks everything in real hard, so that there's a tensioner down low in here that pushes pressure on the chain, and if you just pull this thing off and let that chain go slack, the little tensioner will pop out of its recess, and then you're forced to pulling the timing cover off, which, you know, that's something you might have to do. It's just, you know, something you don't necessarily want to do. You can see I've got quite a bit of oil here leaking. I guess that's because when I remove these, when I loosen these up, I let that head pop up. Oh, in fact, the head looks like it's popped up a little bit. That's interesting to note. Maybe it's already coming loose. Alright, well anyway, more to come later. Thanks for watching.